Hello guys, I'm Pickles Parker and today I will be giving you my review of the recent movie from the MCU, Spider-Man Homecoming. Enjoy.
Hey Peter, you coming tonight?
I can't tonight. I got the Stark internship.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Stark, here's my report for tonight. I stopped the Grand Theft bicycle.
Hey, could you do me a favor? Hold on to that. Is this anybody's bike?
Oh, I helped this old lady and she bought me a churro. So, that was nice. I just feel like I could be doing more.
Wait a minute. You guys aren't the real Avengers. Hulk gives it away. New move I'm working on? Not bad.
Oh. God, this feels so strange.
These weapons are crazy dangerous.
Listen, Peter, there are people who handle this sort of thing. Can't you just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Let go of me! Let go of me!
Activating parachute.
The world's changing, boys. It's time we change too.
This is my chance to prove myself.
We have a Spanish quiz.
You gotta get better at this part of the job.
I don't understand. I'm intimidated.
Oh, hey, guys.
My friends are up there! Hey, where are you going? What are you hiding, Peter? I'm just kidding, I don't care. Bye.
There's a ton of other subsystems in here, but they're all disabled by the training wheels protocol.
I'm sick of Mr. Stark treating me like a kid.
But you are a kid.
Yeah, a kid who can stop a bus with his bare hands.
So, post-Civil War, Peter Parker is waiting for his next mission with Tony Stark and the Avengers. He spends most of his days stopping robberies, getting cats down from trees, and giving old ladies directions, as Queen's very own masked hero, the Spider-Man. However, he always feels like he could be doing more. His school life is suffering though. He's constantly quitting school clubs, unfocused in class, and cancelling meetups with his friend Ned. This all changes when he stops an ATM robbery, where the robbers dressed as the Avengers are using alien weapons. He's intrigued, and seeing as nobody else is interested, he looks into it. When he gets back to his home, he finds Ned there with his Lego Death Star, shocked to find that his best friend is technically an Avenger. Ned's obsession leads him to getting invited to a party at Liz's house, the girl who Peter likes, after he promises that Spider-Man will be there. As expected, nothing goes to plan, and he ends up chasing Jackson Bryce and Herman Schultz, who are trying to sell weapons to Aaron Davis. He does manage to put a tracker on them and follows them onto a school trip. He gets stuck in a damage control vault for the night and realizes that he has left Ned with an alien bomb. It explodes whilst they are in the Washington Monument, but Peter saves all of them, including Liz. After trying to stop them on a boat and nearly killing half the people, his suit is taken off him by Iron Man. He asks Liz to the homecoming dance, but is surprised to find Adrian Toomes, the man who is the boss of all the people who are selling the weapons, is Liz's dad. Toomes gives Peter a choice: give Liz a good time at the dance and forget about the heist on the Avengers plane, or follow him and die. Peter follows him, and after a thrilling showdown on the Avengers plane, the pair crash on a beach, and he saves Toomes from exploding and sends him to prison. Spider-Man turns down a spot on the Avengers team to remain a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and the end credits roll. Right, now, I loved the direction in this episode. It was really fantastic. And that opening shot of Avengers Tower was absolutely magnificent. And the soundtrack was great as well by Michael Giacchino. I really loved all of the music in this. Some of my favourites are the Spider-Man theme and the Vultures theme. And the use of Ayo Let's Go was actually well used as well. He's the Vulture. I like him as a character a lot, and he is a very good villain. But I also like the fact that he has like a team of Phineas Mason, Hermal Scutts, Jackson Bryce, and Randy Vale. I think they all work quite well as a team, and I think Phineas Mason is used for comedic effect, and so is Jackson Bryce to an extent. But I think all of them have a key role to play. All of them are quite good. Obviously, you'll recognise some of the names there from being like Herman Schultz is the Shocker, who he does come on to be. Jackson Price is the first Shocker in the film. I'm unsure if he is actually the Shocker in the comics. And obviously, Phineas Mason goes on to be the Tinkerer. I think Randy Bell in the comics might be a villain called the Dart. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was quite nice that he had a team. Obviously, I think I forgot to mention this in my synopsis. They all were like had a contract with the city that they clear up after all the alien attacks, and obviously they steal their alien weapons and they sell them. But then this lady from Damage Control says that actually no, it's Damage Control's to take care of it now, and not them, and it's owned by Tony Stark. And obviously Adrian Toomes is the main one there, but that's like his all little team, and obviously he convinces them to go into his line of work, which I really like. Now after this little segment at the start, we get into the real bit with the video diary, the vlog that Peter does of Civil War. Now this adds for quite some comedy moments, seeing Civil War from his point of view. Some of the shots look too good just to be like recorded on a phone, but you do get some quite comedic moments, and it is quite nice to see like Civil War from like his point of view. About this movie is that it does Peter Parker and Spider-Man right. It does it justice. One of the first things you get introduced to is Peter's school. That he is set in high school, and for once he actually looks like high school. And it feels like high school, because I go to school, I know what school feels like. And in a lot of films, it doesn't feel like school at all. But this very much felt like a school. You had the different like social groups, which were very believable. Obviously, Flash had been updated to more of a verbal bully, which is more common now. You don't get many like jock bullies, which I think was a very much needed update. So it does feel like school. I think that's what other movies have failed to do in the past, to make it like a believable school. And we're introduced very much to Peter Parker and like his everyday problems. And it's quite funny. The first time he suits up for being Spider-Man, he goes around a dark alleyway and he takes all his clothes off. He's like going like that. Like trying to get his trousers off and things. It takes him forever, and it's actually quite a funny scene because it's very realistic. That you take quite long, and it actually reminded me of the Deadpool 2 trailer when he takes forever in that police box to get his clothes on, and then he finally comes and the guy's dead. But anyway, yeah, it's quite funny and it's quite believable. I think that's the one word. It very much makes you feel like this could sort of actually happen. And it's realistic, which other films, especially Spider-Man films, have failed to do. Quite hard to believe that in Civil War, Peter Parker can't name the Wampa, because it sure seems to feel like he is a big Star Wars fan, for he is obviously making that big Lego Death Star with Ned, but he has a load of Star Wars things in his room if you pause it at the exact moment. He has the big walkers from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I can't think of their right name, but he also has like a model of an X-Wing as well, which is, yeah, for somebody who can't name a Wampa from Empire Strikes Back, it clearly seems like he loves Star Wars quite a bit, but yeah. They're at the party, and he's gonna go in and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm Spider-Man," and fist bump Ned. But he realizes that Spider-Man's not a party trick, and he suddenly sees this big explosion from far away, and he's like, "That is what I want to be doing. That is what Spider-Man is all about." So he goes in there, he sees Jackson Price and Herman Skirts testing out weapons for Aaron Davis, and he goes up there and he's like, "If you're gonna shoot anybody, shoot me." And it involves this really long chase scene where he ends up in somebody's back garden and repeats the scene. I think it's from Ferris Bueller's Day Out. People have been saying, but I've never seen that, so I wouldn't know. But with a guy that barbecue, and then there's a pool, and then he lands in a tent, and these go scream. It's quite fast, and I've heard, and I think not all the jokes land, but it is quite some good humour. It's probably some of the jokes in the film that didn't quite land, but it's quite an enjoyable chase scene, and I think it really does tell you, like, he's not gripped with his powers yet, and I think that is definitely quite important. So we have Taron, which is sort of the voice in the suit, very similar to Jarvis and Friday that Iron Man has. And instantly, my dad said, "Well, that's a bit like a copy of Iron Man, isn't it, that they've done to him?" And I can see it, but then another good YouTuber, Council of Geeks, pointed this out, which I completely agree with. And that what he says to Karen is very much what you would get in the thought bubbles in the comics, so you don't get on screen, so that's sort of a very nice way that you get those. Which I kind of like that idea. I think at first it was a bit like copying Iron Man, but now I come to think about it, is like what would be in the thought bubbles in the comics is what he would say to Karen. And there are a lot of gags with the suit, a lot of funny jokes with like the instant kill, and when he's going in to attack Herman Skirts and Randy Vale, that he's like, the suit chooses a ton of web shooter combinations to him, which is quite funny because he just has to pick one and one. And it is he clearly likes talking to Karen because she's always answering to him, and she takes liking to Peter. So yeah, it's quite good. I think the gags with the suit land quite well. We have the Washington Monument scene, which I like. It's probably one of my very favourite movies of the scene. He's sort of climbing up, he can't believe what's happened. And he's trying to get in, and you have the police up there telling him to get down in like the helicopters, and he's like, no, and he swings in, he breaks through the window, and he webs the thing up the lift, and you think that he's finally done it, everybody's got out of the list, and then suddenly the lift breaks with Liz, but he catches her on the hand. It's a really nice scene actually, and it shows just how young he is, but also shows like his powers as well and how he's trying to do good, and I really love that scene actually. I do quite like the boot scene really. It just shows how he's a bit big for his boots. He thinks he can take on stuff that he can't. He ends up nearly killing half the people there. And it's actually quite nice when he's trying to hold it together. I think it was a bit of an homage to the scene with the train in Spider-Man 2. But yeah, I really like that scene. I think it's also nice that he thinks he's done it, and you think he's done it, but he hasn't once again. I think it's sort of just showing that he thinks he's done it, but he hasn't. It's a reoccurring thing in this movie, which I quite like. Another scene that I like is that boat scene. Stark internship taken off of him, and he's really quite sad, but that then gives him the confidence to then ask Liz out, and she said yes. And I really love it because it's all upbeat. He's very happy. It has scenes of him struggling to put on a tie, which is very relatable. And it's all actually really nice. The music is booming loud, and then he goes to a door, opens the door, and then it's Michael Keaton entombs the Vulture just like there. And the music instantly stops, and it's so perfect timing. And the shock reveal is just amazing because we all thought this was Liz Allen from the comics. So we weren't expecting the Vulture to be a dad, because that's not in the comics at all. So it was really shocking, and it was a really good reveal. Actually, I really do like how they handled that. He then goes to the warehouse where Adrian Toomes is, and he gets the suit, and he crushes the building on top of him, and he's like, "Help, help!" And he's really Spider-Man. He's really quite hurt, and you think, no, is this the end? As his actions finally came on him. You do feel really sad. It's quite an impactful scene, but it also beautifully recreates that famous comic book cover, which is actually a really nice touch, despite being a very heartwarming scene in its own right. And when he obviously lifts it up, it really shows his inner strength. He needs to save that guy. It really shows his inner strength. Bit that I've been dreading to talk about. It's my own one really negative thing about the film, and that is the MJ thing. So this character, Michelle Jones, she's a bit of I don't know, she sort of reminds me of somebody at my school, take it this way. But she's not very nice, and she's sort of the oddball. And then right at the end, she's like, so, team captain, it's you, Michelle. And she's like, actually no, my friends call me MJ. I'm like, what? No, because she's not MJ, her name isn't Mary Jane Watson. So there's no point of her just calling her MJ. I think there's one Easter egg too far. Her characteristics is nothing like MJ. I think, you look at Flash, they changed him a little bit, but he's still recognisable as Flash. Whereas her characteristics is nothing like MJ. She looks nothing like MJ. Her name's not even Mary Jane Watson, so why they need to say MJ? I don't know. It's like, they're like, oh yeah, team captain Ned. And he's like, oh, they're like, team captain Ned. He's like, oh, my friends call me Harry Osborn. It's a bit like that, would be a bit ridiculous. I just don't like that scene. I don't think it should be in there. And it's the one negative I have. Because I've heard things that it's only to just refresh your memory with the MJ thing, and she's not actually MJ. There's going to be another MJ. I just find it strange why they need to put it in there. I'm not a fan, to be honest. There's no need. And that's my only real criticism, is just that scene, that blooming scene. So, the last bit is when he's brought into the new Avengers facility, and he has the chance to become an Avenger, and you have the Iron Spider suit. Now, I understand why he didn't take it. I think it's good that he didn't take it. But it's just that Iron Spider suit. I would rather he had another movie in the suit. I quite like the suit he's in. I just think the fact that they teased you with the Iron Spider suit and they didn't give it to you was just quite annoying. I think it's done better, whereas with the MJ thing, they teased you. But it wasn't needed. And there's no real reason. This was it was a good tease in a way, that they have it there, and maybe maybe in Infinity War at some point he could then maybe the suit's there for him to use. You sort of get what I mean. So yeah, I like that scene as well as hating it at the same time. We have Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Now, he did a really good job. He was the standout star, I think, of this film. Now, he's really good. For once, Spider-Man was believable as a high school teenager and as a young hero. I thought Tom Holland brought that across brilliantly. And he has his funny moments. It was just, he was so believable in the part, and his performance was so great that I think out of all the Spider-Mans we have, he is my favourite Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was a really good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was pretty good Spider-Man. And I think Tom Holland has combined the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield into one, adding a few bits of his own, getting rid of the negatives, and he's got the perfect Spider-Man, I think. I'm very happy for this Spider-Man to continue appearing in MCU films. Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes / Vulture. I really like Michael Keaton as the Vulture. I think he's really good, he's really believable. I think this is the key word for this film, believable. I have a soft spot for the character in the comics, the older man Vulture trying to get a cure for cancer. But I am quite a big fan of this reimagining of the character. I think Michael Keaton really sells it well, that he's a good guy and a bad guy, sort of. I really like that character. I really like the character he portrays. I really like the performance by Michael Keaton as well. It's actually really nice. I think he's one of the better Spider-Man villains, I dare say. I think he's up there in the top 3, I'd say, with William Dafoe's Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man 2. I can't quite remember the actor's name. I'll probably be kicking myself once I finish recording this. I do have a soft spot for Jamie Foxx's Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I think he doesn't break. He doesn't pose any competition for these top 3. I think Michael Keaton, I would probably say he might be better than William Dafoe's Green Goblin. Maybe, but he's definitely in his top 3. He's a really good villain, one of the better villains in the MCU. I really loved his performance. So then we have Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, the head of security for Tony Stark. Now obviously he's appeared in like little small roles in each of the Iron Man films and maybe the Avengers films, but he plays quite a big role in this film. I do like Jon Favreau's performance. He's still not in it a great deal, but I think he plays what he's trying to be, the character of Happy Hogan. He sort of doesn't like him at first, but you can see towards the end he does sort of take a liking to Peter. I think he really plays that quite well. For Zendaya as Michelle Jones, or MJ. Now, despite me criticising the whole MJ thing, I think as Michelle Jones, the made-up character who she was portraying in the whole of the film, Zendaya puts in a reasonably good performance. I quite like it. She's believable. Look at her. I know a girl in my school who's very similar to Zendaya's character. But yeah, she puts in quite a good performance with what she's had. I just don't like that end scene, but with her performance, I think she does quite well. Jacob Batalon as Ned. Now, I really love Ned. I love him as a character. I think it's good that they didn't just jump into the deep end like having with like Harry Osborn. I've never really been a fan of Harry Osborn. Friends with Peter Parker. I don't think a rich kid like that would be friends with Peter Parker. The nerdy kid who gets bullied. I never really thought that's how it works. So I think Ned, like another nerdy buddy, is actually quite believable. I really like his character. He offers some quite very good humorous moments. Most of the very funny moments are offered by Ned. The porn joke especially getting a big laugh from me and my friends at the cinema. But I know he offers some really nice humorous moments. The funniest character in the film by a mile. The best, one of the best original creations from like a superhero movie that's not come from the comics. And I really like Ned. I hope he keeps on appearing in the next few films. Laura Harrier, who played Liz Allen. I don't think her official name is Liz Toomes. But yeah, she played it alright. She didn't have much to do really, apart from just stand there, sort of be attractive for Peter to fall in love with. But what she did with, she played pretty well, actually. So we have Marisa Tomei, something like that, who played Aunt May. I really like her as Aunt May. I know a lot of people prefer like old lady sort of Aunt May you get in the old films, and I do quite like that, but I think it is more believable that you don't have like this 15, 16-year-old that has like an aunt who's like 80, even though she's supposed to be the same age as Peter's dead mother. It was always a bit strange. So I think this sort of 50, 40-year-old mother, works. It's more believable. And she puts in a good performance. Again, like in Civil War, she didn't have that much to work with, but she did put in a little nice performance. Finally, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark / Iron Man. Now, I really like Iron Man in the first 3 Iron Man films plus Avengers 1. But I think after that, in the Avengers 1 and the 3 Iron Man films, he was sort of he had some character development. And I think he got to here. And then at Age of Ultron, he sort of went down there. And went a little bit down to throughout the film. And I think throughout his Civil War and all his other performances, he's sort of been staying like there. Just like one character, no character development, just like the stereotypical guy. So I think it was quite nice you got a range from Robert Downey Jr. in this one. Sort of harking back to the days of the Iron Man trilogy, where he really starts to see himself in Peter and takes a liking to him. And I think there's quite a nice scene where he thinks, I sound like my dad. He didn't really like his dad, so it's probably quite a bit frightening to him, like he's sounding like his dad. But yeah, I did quite like Robert Downey Jr. in this one. He didn't appear as much as the promotional imagery art would suggest. But I think it's one of his better performances since the end of the Iron Man trilogy. My score. Now, I really enjoyed this. Spider-Man was my first sort of superhero love. I really like Spider-Man. He is probably my favourite superhero. And the films, I've always enjoyed them. They have been a bit meh. There hasn't ever been really any groundbreaking ones apart from Spider-Man 2, maybe Spider-Man 1. Yeah, this is just brought justice, what we deserve for the web slinger. And obviously him bringing in the MCU. I always sort of like Spider-Man on his own. I think it makes him more powerful, and they sort of have downgraded his sort of powers in this one. Not really, but you sort of get what I mean. But I really love him in the MCU. It's where he deserves to be. It's just a brilliant film. It's everything I could want from a Spider-Man movie, and more. It's relatable. Good villains, a good plot, a good Peter Parker. Everything that makes Spider-Man so good, they've cast brilliantly all into this one film. And the only one thing that I have a problem with is the MJ thing, and that's barely in the film. That's like right at the end. It's like a little Easter egg. So it's got to be a 10 out of 10. I love this film. What did you think? Comment below and let me know.
I couldn't believe it when the bartender told me who you are.
Why are you talking to me, man?
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes.
He saved 800 lives, including yours.
I dare you to do better. Enlist in Starfleet.
You will experience fear.
Fear in the face of certain death.
Pull your chute! We received a distress call.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life. This day of reckoning.
We've got no captain and no first officer to replace him.
Yeah, we do.
You are capable of deciding your own destiny. The question is, which path will you choose?
James T. Kirk was a great man, but that was another life.
They're locking torpedoes. Emergency evasive!
Fire everything!
please like this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you want to see more content from my channel, then please hit subscribe. Goodbye.
Hello Garen Adam, it's me, George from Pickles Parker Review, and now here is my review of Bad Week. It's weird to think when this was first transmitted, I was 1 year old, but yeah, the game show element is quite funny, despite it dating the episode quite a bit. I love the TARDIS team of the Ninth Doctor, Rose and Captain Jack. Chris Eccleston is right on form in this episode. I don't actually think there's an episode where he's not on form, to be honest. Rose seems more like her series true self, however, when playing the weakest link rather than her series one self that I quite enjoyed. Did you get the tortured reference? I don't know if you did. But yeah, there was one in there. The controller is quite creepy. I do love the tone, and the music from Murray Gold is superb as well. Why are the Daleks waiting to kill Rose but not the Doctor? Like, why would they put her transmat beam from Rose to a Dalek ship, but they're not waiting to transmat the Doctor to a Dalek ship? It's quite weird. And the Dalek reveal is amazing, and the cliffhanger is incredibly gripping. It just makes you want to watch it. So, my score, I'm gonna, it was a 7 out of 10, but I think because it's a good standalone story in its own right, rather than just a first part, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. See you guys next week. See ya.